Good morning all. Welcome to Conduct Learning. How to learning with study. So we are at a chapter acid, bases and salts, and this is a second chapter for class 10th science. So previously we have done what is acids, how to check the solution is acid or not with the help of litmus paper, how acid react with metals, how acid react with carbonates and hydrocarbonates, and how acid react with the base. After that, we have taken few examples of different type of weak and strong acids, the use of acids. And now we switch toward the next topic, which is bases. So first is, what is base? A base is an oxide or hydroxide of a metal. Basically, a base will be identified when you will have a metal that is get oxidized or that is having hydroxide ion combined with it. For example, here in this particular equation, you can see the copper oxide is reacting with sulfuric acid. CuO is nothing but is a copper oxide, where Cu is representing a metal copper and oxygen is the oxidation of copper oxide, because that copper metal is get oxidized with oxygen present in air. So that means to say in short, the copper is reacting with the oxygen present in air, so that's why it is getting oxidized. Now it become a base. And when it will be react with sulfuric acid H2SO4, it is giving us copper sulfate and water. So this reaction we have already done in the previous video, but here it is mentioned to just identify what are bases. So this copper oxide is nothing but is a base. The same way we have another example of bases like sodium oxide NaO. This is also a base because the sodium is get oxidized when it react with the oxygen present in air. Another example is sodium hydroxide. The formula is NaOH. This is also a base. Sodium is a metal and hydroxide is an ion. When they both combine, it become a base. Another example of base is copper oxide, which we have mentioned in this equation also. CuO. This is also a base. In the same way, copper hydroxide, when copper will be combined with hydroxide ion, OH ion, it will become base. So OH negative ion when combined with copper, it become a base. So that means to say, a base is an oxidized or hydroxide of a metal. So base you can identify by just looking at a metal. If the oxygen is combined with it, it is a base. Or if the OH negative ion is combined with it in the chemical formula, it is a base. So the base react with acid to form salt and water only. So this thing we have done when we have done the properties of acid in the previous video, where we found out that acids react with base gives us a salt and a water. In the same way, when base react with an acid, it form a salt and a water. The example is given here, where copper oxide is a base, H2SO4 is an acid, and they both react give us copper sulfate, which is nothing but is a salt. This is a salt, and H2O, this is nothing but the water. So we have got salt and water. This process is also known as neutralization. What is alkyls? This is the another thing which you should be know. There are two different kind of base. One base is soluble in water and another base is not soluble in water. And if base is soluble in water, it is called alkyl. And if base is not soluble in water, it is simply a base but not alkyl. So alkyl is only the base which is soluble in water. And you can see this in this diagram. Here we take a water and we take base also. And when we will put base in a water, it will be get soluble. If it will be get soluble, the OH negative ion will be produced. Then it is known as alkyls. If the OH negative ions are not produced, then this is only the base, not the alkyls. So the second line is saying an alkyl is a soluble base which produce hydroxide ion. This is what I said. If the base will be put in water and it produce OH negative ion, then base is called alkyls. If it is not produce OH negative ion, the base is not a alkyl but only the base. You can see in this equation, when sodium hydroxide, which is nothing but the base, sodium hydroxide, when it will be put in water, it produces sodium and OH negative ions. So this is alkyls because sodium hydroxide when put in water gives OH negative ions. So that means to say it is soluble in water because the ions are getting separated. The sodium hydroxide basically a molecule which is separate into a different ion, positive and negative ion, when it fill in a when it put in a water. So that's why this is known as alkyls. If that sodium hydroxide when put in a water do not produce sodium or hydroxide ion separately, then this is not a alkyls, it is only the base, but here it is a alkyls. Difference between the base and alkyls. I suggested you that the two different kind of the bases are there, right? And one kind of the base which can be soluble in water, and another kind of the base is which is not soluble in water. So the base which is soluble in water is alkyls, otherwise it is a base only. So this is the only difference between the both. Or you can also say, if base put in water produce OH negative ions, that means to say that separate the molecules, that convert the molecules of a base into ions, then it will be alkyls, otherwise it will not. So here copper hydroxide is a base but not alkyls. This is an example where base is not alkyl. So that is copper hydroxide. So some kind of base which is not alkyls are presented there, like copper oxide. So when you will put copper oxide in a water, it will be not produce OH negative ions. That means to say copper and oxide will be not get separated when it will be put in water. It will be not become ions, positive negative ions. So it is only the base, it will be not alkyl. Copper hydroxide, CuOH2. This the clear formula for this is CH. This is when you will be put this in a water, it will be not separated into copper and OH negative ions. So that means to say it is not alkyl, it is only the base. Ferric oxide. When you will be put this ferric oxide in water, the ferric oxide is only this formula. This 2 is not there. When you will put ferric oxide in a water, it will be not separated into iron and oxygen ions. It will be, that's why not alkyl, it is only the base, right? Same way magnesium oxide is also, it will be when put in water, it will be not separated into ions, that's why it's only the base, not the alkyls. On the other hand, sodium oxide, potassium hydroxide, ammonia and calcium hydroxide, they all are the base which put in water produce ions, that's why they are alkyls and base also. So sodium hydroxide, sodium oxide, potassium hydroxide, ammonia, calcium hydroxide, they all are alkyls because when they put in water, it's separated into the ions and they form a soluble base and alkyls. Chemical property of alkyls. Alkyls have bitter taste and soapy feel. When you will be touch the alkyls, it has a bitter taste and it will be having the soapy type feeling like a soap you touch. Alkyl turn red litmus paper to blue. So bases are giving blue color when it will be checked with red litmus paper. On the other hand, acid are giving red color when it will be checked with blue litmus paper. Right? But when you will be check alkyls with blue litmus paper, it will not change its color. So if you want to check alkyls, you have to use red litmus paper. Alkyls react with acid to form salt and water. This thing you have done already. Here's another example. Sodium hydroxide when react with HCl, that is a hydrochloric acid, it will form NaCl, that is sodium chloride, which is a salt, and water H2O. When potassium hydroxide is reacting with sulfuric acid H2SO4, it is giving us potassium sulfate and water. So this is the two different example of the alkyls when it react with the acids, it forms salt and waters. Here in this figure you can also see when the bases are checked with the red litmus paper, this the color for the litmus paper is red, and when it will be put inside the base, the color of that red litmus paper is turned to blue. So this is defining the base is there in this beaker. Chemical property of alkyls, the next is alkyls react with ammonium salt to produce ammonia gas. Ammonia gas NH3, then it will be react with it, it will produce ammonia gas, right? Ammonia gas is acidic, thus turn red litmus paper to blue. That means to say, if the bases are reacting with salts, it produce acids. Because ammonia salt is a salt and alkyls, any alkyls, when it reacts with the salt, it produces ammonia gas which is acidic in nature, and it turns the red litmus paper into blue. Ammonia gas is very soluble in water and give a pungent smell. So here is an example and the chemical equation also for the same. Sodium hydroxide is a base. NH4Cl, when it reacts with it, it will give us a salt, NH3 ammonia and water. This is the ammonia gas, NH3. It is a salt, ammonia salt. So it is giving us a gas. This gas is acidic in nature. So you can also understand by this chemical equation whatever the statement is written on the top. Use of bases, very important. Sodium hydroxide, NaOH, this is a one kind of base, and potassium hydroxide, KOH, are used in making soaps. So this is basically used for soaps. Ammonia solution is used in window cleaner, NH3. A magnesium hydroxide is used in toothpaste to neutralize the acid produced by bacteria. So magnesium hydroxide is used in toothpaste for neutralize the acidic reaction. Calcium hydroxide is used in neutralize acid found in acidic soil. So calcium hydroxide is basically the salt lime, which you have CaOH2, for which you have taken example in the previous chapter also, salt lime. So when it will be used, when you will be used calcium hydroxide, it neutralizes the acids found in acidic soils. So it is basically used in the fertilizer and all kind of the materials. Common bases. So here are the example of some common bases like sodium hydroxide NaOH, the formula for the same. Potassium hydroxide, it is KOH, nothing. K represent potassium, OH is a hydroxide ion. Calcium hydroxide CaOH2, calcium Ca, OH2 is a hydroxide ion. Ammonia solution NH3, N represent nitrogen, H represent the hydrogen. Magnesium hydroxide MgOH2, magnesium represented by MgOH is a hydroxide ion. Ammonia hydroxide NH4OH, this is basically a salt. So indicators. So if you want to check what kind of solution is in front of you, either it is a base or either it is a acid. So how you will be check it? You have to use indicators. So different type of indicators are there. One kind of indicators change its color when it will be put in that solution. Another indicators are known as olfactory indicators. They change its smells when it will be put in the mixture or in the solution of acid or base. So indicator who change its color are having the example like litmus paper, blue litmus paper, red litmus paper, methyl orange, phenolphthalein, etc. Olfactory indicators are vanilla, onion and clove. So how it will be change its color or change its smell, you can find out from the next slide. So various indicators are as mentioned there. The red litmus paper, blue litmus paper, turmeric, red cabbage juice, phenolphthalein, methyl orange, onion and vanilla. Out of this, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, these top 6 indicators are used to check acids and base with the help of change in colors. On the other hand, onion and vanilla is the indicator which is known as olfactory indicators also. They use to check acid and base solution with smell. So, if we first of all check acid solution with the help of red litmus paper, then its original color will be red. And when acid solution will be there and we will put red litmus paper into that acid solution, the color of that litmus paper will not change. But on the other hand, when the same red litmus paper will be put in base solution, then its color will change blue. So red litmus paper is used to check the color of acids, to check the solution, either it is acid or either it is base, through the change in color. Original color of red litmus paper will be red, that will be not changed when the solution is acid, and it will be changed to blue when the solution is base. The same thing is with blue litmus paper. The natural color of blue litmus paper is blue, and when it put in the acid solution, the color of that blue litmus paper will be changed red. And when the same litmus paper, blue litmus paper, will be put in base solution, the color of that litmus paper will not change. So if you want to check acids, then you have to use blue litmus paper. Otherwise, for checking the base solution, you have to use red litmus paper. Turmeric is basically yellow in color. When it put in acidic solution, the color of it will be yellow, no change. But when it will be put in base solution, it will be changed to red brownish color. Another is red cabbage juice. The original color of red cabbage juice is purple, and when acidic solution is there, the red cabbage juice will change its color to reddish, and when base solution is there, it will be change its color to greenish yellow. Phenolphthalein is other indicator which is colorless, and when it will be put in acidic solution, the color of phenolphthalein is same, it will be colorless, and when it will be put in base, it will be change its color to pink. The next one is methyl orange. The original color of methyl orange is orange. When it put in the acid, it will be change its color to red, and when it will be put in base solution, it will be the color will be the yellow for methyl orange. Onion and vanilla both are olfactory indicator, as I told you. They do not change its smell when the solution is acidic, but they will be change its smell. That means to say they will be vanish their smell. There will be no smell of onion when the solution is of base, or there is no smell of vanilla when the solution is base. So if you want to check the solution of acid and base with the help of olfactory indicator by checking the smell of that indicators, so you can use onion and vanilla.